how to live supremely, wisely, and lovingly in the spiritual family of God at all levels of the universe. None of us is born knowing everything. Knowledge, as Marilyn said, must be acquired through study and experience. Ascendant mortals and celestial beings study in all kinds of universe schools with various specialties. And the Universe Administration provides all the necessary teachers and trainers to guide them in their pathways of learning. And it's significant that a student doesn't get to graduate to the next higher universe level until they are able to effectively teach others what they have learned. And this pattern is embedded in the cosmic educational system, and we're here at the beginning of it. And it applies just as much to people on an evolutionary world as it does to ascending beings in the higher schools of the universe. So what does this tell us about the importance of education here on Urantia in developing our potentials and spiritual characters, and in sharing what has been given to us in the Urantia revelation? Well, for one thing, education is a constant expansion of the boundaries of our belief systems and our cultural frameworks, so that we can ascend to higher levels of thought and understanding. Growth means shedding old skins, correcting errors in thinking, and receiving new and higher concepts by which we understand God and the meanings, values, and purpose of our existence, the true reality of our everyday existence, and how we ought to be relating to each other as spiritual brothers and sisters. We can also look at education as the process of discovering and using our human and divine potentials in ways that express our particular genius. And every person is a genius. God has made them so, in ways that no one else in the universe can exactly demonstrate the way that we do because of our unique personality, endowments, and our life history. So in this way, we can do our part to manifest truth, beauty, goodness, and love in the world, and genuinely contribute to the growth of the Supreme. So all of what I've been saying leads to my reason for being here right now with you, which is to explain the vital need for a teacher education program that's worthy of the fifth epical revelation, and to share the results of a big project to accomplish that goal. And I hope that I've imperfectly but adequately laid the groundwork for understanding the relevance and the importance of building a school to support the development of effective teachers, ministers, ambassadors, and leaders. People who want to go the second and the third mile in effectively spreading the revelation around the world in these certain roles. Much like Salem, the school of Melchizedek, and the apostolic core of Jesus, and the 70, the school of evangelists for the 70. So let me be clear, though, that no person needs to go to school to serve other people in the wise and loving way that Jesus did as he passed by. We don't need to study a book to do that. But if we want to master a complex subject, a skill, or a vocational calling, there does exist a need for a higher level of training, coaching, and preparation, much like athletes or musicians undergo, right, to perform at higher levels of excellence. So there's a place for for the new Urantia Book Teacher Education Program in the continuum of the unfolding epical revelations of deity and cosmic reality made to the people of our world that we know started 500,000 years ago with the Dalmatian schools of the planetary prince, and continued, of course, with the garden schools of Adam and Eve, and, as I said, the Salem Missionary School of Machiavelli Melchizedek, and the Apostolic Core of Jesus. Every revelation of epical significance incorporated training schools and programs of instruction under the auspices, as part of its mission to educate individuals and to uplift cultures. The Urantia Revelation, we know, once had such a training program that was established in 1956 under the auspices of the Urantia Brotherhood School. And its mission was to prepare teachers and leaders whose responsibility was carrying the message of the Urantia book to all interested people. However, the Brotherhood School became inactive after the death of its illustrious dean, Alvin Kulicki, in 1973. And no further attempt was made after that to establish such a teacher and leadership training program. But the dream of the Brotherhood School never died. The new Urantia Book Teacher Education Program is the outgrowth of an original concept by Gard Jameson, David Kulicki, Al Kulicki's son, and Marilyn Kulicki, who gathered a small group of individuals from various Urantia organizations back like 2017, 2018, to discuss the idea of creating an educational center for the Urantia community. And its primary purpose would be to create a repository of educational materials about the Urantia book and to develop an enduring school to support the dissemination of the Urantia revelation. And they envisioned an educational program that would prepare motivated students from around the world to effectively present the ideas and ideals of the Urantia revelation to people of all cultures, to study at the center and then take that learning back and translate it in their language to their local culture. So the founders, Gard, Marilyn, and David, invited representatives from Urantia Foundation, Urantia Book Fellowship, Urantia Association International, and Urantia University Institute, UUI, to collaborate in developing the curriculum. And after more than 3 years of concerted development and alpha testing by this highly dedicated team of 12 experienced students of the Urantia Revelation, the Urantia Book Teacher Education Program, we call it the TEP, was ready for beta testing in 2023. And Urantia University Institute, which I represent, was given the job of administering this comprehensive program, combining knowledge, content, and practical skills, and delivering it on UUI's learning platform. It's a hybrid program that blends face-to-face learning during a 5-day in-person intensive orientation session in August. We do this in 2 weeks, followed by 3 trimesters of online learning from September to June in UUI's online classrooms. So let's take a quick look at the goals for the program. Number 1, and this group, our development team worked on this a long time to try to capture the elements that are most important. To provide people who have an inner prompting, a vocation, a calling, to share the advanced teachings of the Urantia Revelation regarding God, the cosmos, and our planetary history and eternal destiny with a coherent body of knowledge and skill, the skill set that they can use to communicate more skillfully with spiritually hungry people who are looking for answers to life's big questions. 2, to prepare people who feel called to teach or minister to the spiritual family of God in the light of the Urantia revelation, and to spread the expanded gospel of Jesus presented in the Urantia book to their faith communities and the broader culture. 3, to provide a program of study leading to a comprehensive and integrated understanding of the major themes and concepts of the Urantia book that enables the participants to better articulate the revelation to their native cultures and to a wide swath of individuals and groups. And I want to say, in interviewing the candidates for our beta test group last year, and then the incoming cohort that will meet us in Urantia Foundation in 2 weeks, this was expressed over and over again by everyone applying to the program. They wanted to pull together the major themes of the Urantia book, and they wanted to be able to articulate them clearly to different audiences. And they also told us they wanted to be more confident in doing this. And 4th, to nurture the participants' inner spiritual life, I think, for me, the most important thing, toward the goal of authentically embodying an awareness of the presence of God in one's life through faith, worship, spiritual practices. And finally, and this has really been done so well by the teaching team for the 3rd trimester, to provide training for effective ministry based on Jesus' model of loving service, with an emphasis on personal spiritual transformation and mastering the techniques of meeting individuals where they are in a dialogue of souls, learning how to speak soul to soul and listen soul to soul. So next, we'll take a quick look at the program that we designed. And by the way, much of this information is on our website, so I won't spend too much time on it here or reading it, because I know we're all eager to get to the Merry Mirth Makers this evening and have some fun. So let me go to the next slide here. Am I the right one? Yes. So first, as I said before, the program begins with this in-person orientation over 5 days in August at Urantia Foundation in Chicago. This is a real treat for the people, the students who have never been there before. Francine is shaking her head yes. It's kind of awesome, huh? And this personal experience allows the participants to meet each other and meet their instructors or guides, and to form a cohesive cohort. Really, really important, right? We get to intimately know one another, right, Francine? And love one another. And the students are oriented in the orientation to the structure, the goals, and the curriculum of the TEP. And they attend also some basic skill building sessions, along with 2 daily worship periods. And those who are unable to travel to Urantia Foundation can attend the orientation by Zoom. Let's see. So the orientation session then is followed by 3 trimesters of online learning, and each one is 10 weeks long. And during this time, students engage in reading and reviewing, really spiritually thinking and writing and discussing the main themes and concepts of the revelation, which are the focus of that particular trimester, and we'll take a look at that in a second. And the live classes, so during the week, from, let's say, basically Saturday to Friday, they're engaged in what we call asynchronous learning. They can go to the classroom and read and study and write and chat on the discussion boards during the week. And then we have a live class on Fridays that focuses on a discussion of the week's topics. It allows the students to teach and share their expanding integrated understanding of the text. And during the final 10th week of class, students usually complete some kind of final presentation in the process of integrating what they've learned. This is not unlike what Jesus did with the apostles, right? So they would, he would teach in the morning and they would work in the afternoon and they would teach and they'd come back at night and debrief, with Jesus. So, trimester 1. Again, I won't spend too much, this slide is different. It has a mind of its own. Okay, it'll unfold. So during the first trimester, and this runs from September to November, the students review the major themes and the concepts that really relate to the nature and the functions of the three persons of the Paradise Trinity and their relationship to us and to the unfolding Master Universe. And the primary objective for the first trimester is getting to know God and love God more through understanding the functions of the Paradise deities and their divine offspring. And we find these themes in basically parts 1 and 2 of the book. And the students also explore with Andre, who teaches it really so brilliantly, the cosmology of the Urantia book and the evolutionary plan, which Tim covers, for the grand universe in which we originate, grow, and progress, right, from physical to Urantia to spirit status. So we'll just take a quick look here. Trimester 1, as I said, it's 10 weeks. I'm not going to read all the titles. Maybe you can just look at them on the screen. I just wanted to quickly show you some of the themes for each week of class. And all of this information is on our website at urantiauniversity.org. Okay. Good. So moving on, we'll do trimester 2 real quick here. So this runs from January to March. And in the second trimester, students are focused on the overarching theme of evolution, which along with personality and the supreme being really is the major themes of the Urantia book. And this, as we know, is principally addressed in part 3, but it's also threaded throughout the Revelation. And students explore the dynamic physical, the biological, the religious, and the cultural evolutionary processes of our world that nurture the development of mortal ascenders. They become more aware of how our world and humankind are part of just a larger, or I should say, we're in a local universe, but we're part of this outworking of the plan of the Paradise Trinity for the progressive perfection attainment of all beings. And the arc of the evolutionary plan from the lowest micro level of free will creatures like us on evolutionary worlds like Urantia to the highest macro level of the evolutionary deity, the supreme being, which is the really huge, big revelation of part 3 of the Urantia book. Okay, and a quick peek at some of the topics here in trimester 2. And you'll be familiar with the themes because we find them, of course, in part 3 of the book. Okay. Okay. There it is. Okay, moving on. Trimester 3. This is the jewel in the crown. So in the third and final trimester, the students review the life and teachings of Jesus. They reflect on the events and decisions of Jesus' life that shaped his experiences, that developed his great spiritual character, that led to his unbroken communication with and his faith in God, and aided in his self-mastery and self-conscious realization of his divine nature. And they discover more of Jesus' life of loving service through his private and public ministry, his teaching methods, and then the impact of his ministry on our world. And they develop their own style, or even further, of conversational ministry. and some of the titles. It's funny, it wasn't doing this in the PowerPoint that I developed. So thank you for being patient as the weeks unfold here. So there's a look at the topics in trimester 3. And then I just want to give you a quick peek at the faculty, which is an excellent group of people. And then we'll look at the different elements of the teacher education program. Okay, once again. So our TEP faculty is composed of a very dedicated group of 10, I think, gifted, serious, longtime students and teachers of the Urantia book from across the Urantia organizations. And they're all well known to our community. And we salute their exceptional work and collaboration over the past 4 years. It's really been an extraordinary experience, herding cats, but also, you know, we're also different, but we have achieved a spiritual unity in this group of diverse people, haven't we, Andre? And Marilyn, yeah. And I want to just say that the only missing person from this list of faculty is David Kulicki, one of our founders who left our world in 2021, and he's now pursuing a new teaching career in the mansion world. And he was my teaching partner, my buddy, for Marilyn shared him with me for trimester 2, and we developed a lot of that material together, and I still miss him so much. Yeah. But I got Marvin in the bargain, and you can see, trimester 1, our wonderful instructors are Marilyn Kulicki and Tim Duffy, and Andre Rodatis and Chris Wood. And in the second trimester, it's myself and Marvin, and we got Mark Blackaman, who has a PhD in archaeology, and he contributed a lot to the physical science part of it. And then our trimester 3 instructors, of course, Gar Jameson and Jerry Johnson. She's out there teaching now with Rob, the Life and Teachings of Jesus. They do classes every Thursday, and they're doing that right now. And then we have just a wonderful admin team. Alice Wood, Ariana Horn, and Elizabeth Callahan. Me. So much for reading a script. And what it's somebody else I used to know. Okay. I just wanted to take this moment and embarrass Alice Wood wherever she is and just say, Alice, we couldn't do this without you. I've leaned on Alice so much. My husband's been so sick the past year, and Alice just has shown extraordinary initiative. I mean, as well as astuteness and brilliance and good organizational skills, all of it. She's just got a whole bag of skills that are perfect for this program. And I hope you stay forever to the rest of your life. Yes, she's gonna go the 10th mile, the 20th mile. So, and then I just want to give a shout out to Jerry Johnson, because she sits on our policy committee, Jerry Johnson, and she's so wonderful. And Bev Boyer has joined us recently and also is a voice of wisdom in our councils. And next, I should have already done this because it takes so long to unfold it. These are the educational components of the program. Just a quick look. Of course, I mentioned the in-person orientation program, and some people are in this room who will be with us in a couple of weeks. I'm thrilled. We have independent classwork, as I said, during the week, leading up to the live class on Friday. And this is all done in various UUI online classrooms. We have, of course, the live Zoom class on every Friday. It's 3 hours, but it goes fast because there's so much activity. There are weekly skill building modules, which students do on their own time. Circles of Trust. Gar Jameson has spoken at length about these. We're going to make them voluntary for those students who would like to take advantage of that experience of supporting one another in a circle of trust. And then a capstone project. And again, this is self-determined, and it's a way that the student can demonstrate their integrated understanding of the whole year of study. And then the workload, well, I can hear Francine saying, no, 7, are you kidding, 7 hours per week? No, 20 hours. No, it all depends. I would be somebody that I'd be putting in the 15 to 20 hours, okay, but, you know, it can be, it's certainly a minimum of 7 hours a week. I want to be clear about that, and it's probably more realistically 12 to 15, as if you were almost like in a graduate school program. And it really depends on the individual effort that people make, and if they want to read everything. And then modalities. Our curriculum really utilizes most of the latest instructional design techniques for online classroom instruction. There's lectures with slideshows. There are instructional videos focused on the weekly class topics. There's large group discussions. There's small group discussions. There's curated reading. Some of it is required, but most of it is optional. We recruit people or invite people who already have studied the Urantia book at length, so that they're building on an existing body of knowledge and understanding. So it's not necessary to read everything, but we want to leave students with a whole set of resources that they can take with them in their teaching and their ministry. And then there's creative assignments like graphic organizers, and Marilyn Kulicki is the queen of the graphic organizers, because there's all kinds of ways that we learn and that we can integrate knowledge. And of course, daily spiritual practices. And then, I can't wait to show this picture. This is a group of our beta testers from last summer. We started on Jesus' birthday, August 21st, and that's the group, most of the group, in the forum room at Urantia Foundation. And back there on the Zoom screen, you can probably see Mike Painter and others who joined us by Zoom. So we recruited what I call a small but mighty cohort of 15 very devoted students of the Urantia Revelation to participate in a one-year beta test. And this began, as I said, last August, and it just ended this month as the students turned in their final capstone projects. 9 of the group, some metrics, 9 of the group attended the in-person training. Others, like there's a woman from Australia and someone from Mexico, and they attended via Zoom. We had 12 women and 3 men. The new group you'll see is half and half. And we had 12 Americans, 1 French-Canadian woman, and 2 women from, as I said, Mexico and Australia. So 13 completed the whole program, which is extraordinary because they had no idea what they were getting into. And 2 completed it on a part-time basis because there was some other major stuff going on in their lives. And you know, much was asked of these really adventurous and wholehearted beta testers, and they gave us so much in return, engaging in 30 weeks of rigorous and often very challenging classwork, and we learned a lot from that. It was, you know, some of it was way too much, so we were, you know, moderating. They filled out evaluations every week at the end of class, and also at the end of the trimester, and we also asked them to do a year review. And they gave, I think, so generously of their time and careful thinking in completing the evaluations. And overall, the responses were quite positive, and they corroborated the value of the training program, but we also got some very honest feedback about what didn't work. So, you know, it's a beautiful program and flawed, and we'll keep working on refining it. So these were anonymous responses, and they are preserved, and we were able to make some immediate changes as we got feedback, and then other suggestions will be carried out, in the year ahead. So the whole TEP team really wants to thank the beta testers for their truly awesome work, and I'm going to ask you in a minute, to stand up. To me, you were the dream beta test group, and we are really everlastingly grateful for your grit and faithful collaboration. And next I want to share, I hope there's time. I left my phone over here. Okay, I think I'm okay. Just some of the evaluations that we got at the end of the whole year. Because to me, they confirm that we met the basic objectives of facilitating the students' integration of the major themes and the concepts of the Urantia revelation, and in developing a greater skillfulness and confidence in communicating this deeper, integrated understanding to other people. So let me just bring that up. I have to say, I did not, I don't have them written here in this script. So why don't you, Francine, why don't you come up here? A couple people, huh? Who else? Andre, why don't you, let's see, who else is here? Trudy, Dale Ann? Real quick, because I don't want to take too long because I know we're waiting to party. Yeah, it's there. Can you read it? It's really actually better if you do than if I do, yeah.
We'll take turns, Betsy. We'll take turns with each paragraph. All right. This entire program has deepened my personal understanding of what it means to be a child of God. This is the pearl of great price and foundation stone of my desire and devotion to share the Urantia revelation.
Through the systematic, pragmatic, and philosophic study of the entire book, I feel far more confident and capable of sharing the core concepts in a skillful and effective manner.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dale Ann.
Okay.
Hold the mic up.
You can read it if you want to. Go ahead. Oh, okay, go ahead. Okay. I have learned speaking skills, thinking skills, digital technical skills, and presentation skills that have definitely served to transform me into a better prepared teacher and servant. I have been well served by this program and hope I have also served it well.
Whoever that was, you did.
Deep gratitude for this opportunity and experience. In many ways, this has been a transformative year. To be immersed in the superb teachings of the Urantia book for 9 months cannot help but change a person.
There is no doubt that I have grown. First and most significantly, I feel that my relationship with the Father has deepened. There can be no greater gift than this. I feel that this alone will help me become more effective in sharing the teachings.
Thank you. There's more, but I think we need to move on. Yeah. So thank you, ladies, so much. Big hand. And we just want to take a quick look at the new incoming cohort. We're very excited and thrilled to welcome 16 new students this August. And right now, that's the maximum that we can hold at Urantia Foundation. But all of us, I mean, someday we'll outgrow it, and that will be sad. Maybe that's also a good thing to outgrow this like first womb. But all of us really value the meaningfulness, you know, of meeting at the foundation headquarters because of the enormous historical value. So we have 16 people enrolled, this time 8 women and 8 men. They're coming from 11 from the US, 1 from Canada, 2 from Kenya, 1 from Uganda, 1 from Nigeria, and 1 Chinese national living in Germany. So, before I close, I wish to commend the extraordinary dedication of our all-volunteer teaching staff for the TEP and our superb admin team. To me, they consistently demonstrate a high level of selfless service in their various roles. And we also want to take this opportunity to express our deep and lasting appreciation for the tremendous financial support that we have received from Urantia Foundation through the Mustard Seed Grant Program. Their support provides a large chunk of the material means by which this enterprise operates and by which we can expand. So thank you to the trustees of Urantia Foundation. And thank you, everyone, for your kind attention. I hope that we've done a good job to show you how the TEP is designed to provide participants with an environment for spiritual growth and a balanced approach to intellectual development, to practical teaching and ministry skills, and spiritual transformation. Our hope is that this approach will help them and us become more effective communicators of the Urantia revelation and spiritual educators in a variety of arenas. We know that our graduates may go on to serve study groups and spiritual communities, churches, or schools and centers of spiritual education and philosophy. Or, this is exciting to me, they may create new ways of using the internet to spread the Urantia revelation. To me, the possibilities are boundless because the cosmic mind is. And hopefully the program is also facilitating the growth of a divine, worshipful way of living and a strong spiritual character along the lines of Jesus, our master teacher. I think that a vision of an enlightened culture with a loving God as the central value and the supreme experience of everyone in society is a vision worth pursuing, however distant that may be. Even if the goal of light and life is 10,000 years away or more, our responsibility is to enact near-term and long-term goals today that support that distant but promised destiny. And we must never swerve from that core mission of education, spiritual education, really cosmic education. We need visible planetary institutions that are founded in support of the Urantia revelation and in service to Havona ideals and the purposes of the Paradise Trinity. We don't have to say that to the general public, but that is what we must cleave to in our spiritual vows and our organizational visions and revelation work. We are laboring not only for the students of today, but the students of tomorrow. We are intent on building the foundation of a center that will endure for the third millennium and beyond, for the perpetual study of the Urantia revelation and how its cosmic perspective can be applied to the spiritual transformation of individuals and the development of a God-centered civilization. Thank you.